It's the World Series. Game 7, bases loaded, 2 outs, full count. You're either on the mound or you're up at the plate trying to be the hero of leading your team towards the top of the mountain. As kids, we pictured this every day in the backyard with the dream of doing the same in the show. It's funny how it's always the high leverage situations where we picture ourselves in these scenarios. Whether it's making the game-winning bucket in the NBA Finals to kicking the field goal in the Super Bowl to give you the lead in the closing minutes. It's the thrill of a player to be the one who comes through for your team and the anxiousness of a fan that keeps you glued to the TV, taking in every single second. It's the layers that come with the story of each player, team, and fan base, all leading to one moment. In this franchise series, we want to bring the same thrill and anxiousness in each game we play. We'll be doing some things a little different in this MLB The Show franchise series. Each game that we'll be playing will be a high leverage situation, with the new addition to be able to control the condition of when we want to enter each game. Will we enter from the 6th inning and on? This will be a big task as we will play in the half the season in these high leverage situations, where the other half will be based on how the team does when we sim through games. We will need to construct a roster just as well as we play with the team, so we got a big task ahead of us. Now the question still lies, what team will we be playing with? We are going to be heading straight to the nation's capital, where we'll be using none other than the Washington Nationals in this series. The Nationals aren't far away from their first World Series championship in 2019. However, at the likes of Trey Turner, Max Scherzer, and of course Juan Soto leaving the team in the few years after that, the Nationals found themselves once again rebuilding their core. With the likes of Joshua Gray and Mackenzie Gore at the helm of the rotation and having stud shortstop CJ Abrams, that's a pretty good core to start from. And we may have some stubs waiting to get the call up as well, but hey, let's not get into that right now. Nevertheless, there is a lot of work to be done. And hey, that's why we're here. Now let's just jump right into it. Let's see how our team is made up currently on the roster. Of course, we're going to be making moves left and right throughout the season to try to get the best we could do with the Washington Nationals. Now, as you see on the screen here, we have Joshua Gray on the left. He will be our ace. We're going to go over the pitching rotation real quick. We have Gray that we just mentioned. Then we have Mackenzie Gore, who came from the Soto trade from the Padres. We have Jackson Relich, a rookie here. Patrick Corbin, who is, I don't even know, what year is he on? All right, so this is his last year of this contract, and let me say, this has been a brutal kind of contract for the Nationals. He has not lived up to this contract at all. As you can see, his ERA last year was a 5.2. The year before that was 6.3. We'll see what we can make of with Patrick Corbin, although he has a lot of money to his name, so I don't think we could trade him. But we'll leave him in the 4th spot. And then we have Trevor Williams. Trevor Williams is usually known to be a spot starter. So I don't know if he'll be in the 5th spot or we'll move him into pen to be that spot starter. However, let's go to the bullpen. And the reason why I want to start with the pitching, because this is a rather theme here as we go through the bullpen. We have Dylan Floro, Derek Law, Tanner Rainey, Matt Barnes, Kyle Finnegan, and then Hunter Harvey as our closer. But what do you see? It is all righties. The Washington Nationals just, hey, screw lefties. Let's just roll with all righties in the bullpen. Now, with the franchise series that's really going from the 6th inning and on, I kind of don't like this. I have to just be straight for you. I think we are going to get a lefty. We're going to make our first move, and that's going to be an eternal move. We're going to go to the roster here and look if there's a lefty. I believe there was one name in mind, and here he is, Richard Blyer. I've been falling in love with Richard Blyer in Diamond Dynasty with his silver card. Now let's bring his, I guess I'm going to call it, just bring up Richard Blyer to the MLB. However, he is not on the 40-man. So we got to figure out what we're going to do in the 40-man here. I think we are going to send Jordan Williams down. It's currently optional. We cannot be moved. Oh, so we can't do it just yet. All right, so before the next video, we'll get Richard Bleier in the bullpen, but that will be the move. I will update next video on how we did that. But for now, Richard Bleier will be part of the bullpen, so we have a lefty. Now, if we go to actual lineup screen, let's see how our team is shaping out. We mentioned CJ Abrams. He had a hell of a second half of the season last year, so I'm very curious how he's going to transfer over to this season. We have Stone Garrett as a right fielder. Joey Meneses as our first baseman. A. Rosario, who was a pickup. There's going to be multiple pickups that the Nationals did. A. Rosario was one of them. He'll play left field. Gilbert Ruiz, another prospect or young star that was traded over from the names that were released or traded from the Nationals from years past. So Ruiz will be our catcher. I really like Ruiz, so I'm hoping for big things here. I don't know. Let's see. His potential is a B right now. I mean, he's only 25, switching in catching. I want to see him just overseed, just be better than his B potential, which I think he can. Luis Garcia will be our second baseman. Lane Thomas had a hell of a year last year, so he'll be our DH, but he'll definitely be in the field. I'm even curious if I'm going to put him in the field now, but I'll get to that a little bit later before we start simming and start playing our games. Vargas will be a third baseman. However, I know Nick Senzel, as you can see on the right, I do want to get Senzel in the mix. But he most likely would be against lefties. As you can see, he has an 88 contact against lefties and 70 power against lefties. So he'll most likely be on platoon right there. And then Victor Robles hasn't lived up to the potential. Let's just face it. Victor Robles, when first coming up, unless he was facing Syndergaard and the Mets back in the day, which I felt like he hit multiple home runs against Syndergaard, but that's a different story. This is just a Met fan venting. But Victor Robles will be, I don't know. He might be on a short lease here. We don't know. And then there is another interesting name on the bench, Joey Gallo. Joey Gallo is a Washington National. We know recently he hasn't had the best years. I mean, look at his averages in the past four. 177, 160, 199. I know in 2021 and 20, his base percentage is over 300, but still hasn't been the Joey Gallo since, who knows, since 2019? So, I mean, even he had back-to-back 40 home run years in 17 and 18. We haven't seen that Gallo yet. Maybe there's a late spark in his career that we could get something Joey Gallo, but I don't know. Even if we do, and he does well, he could be a trade piece that we do at the deadline. Same with Victor Robles. I don't know. There's something about Victor Robles that's just telling me we might move him as well. So that is going to be our lineup and our pitching rotation. But I can't just leave you off there. We got to look at the depth chart as well. So if you look at the depth chart here, you're going to see a couple names, and you're going to see a couple of top prospects. We got one in center, one in right field, and one at third base. Now, I'm going to start with Brady House, because Brady House actually has some, I believe, he hasn't been called up yet. I thought he got called up. I was wrong about that. So we will see what Brady House could offer. He has potential A. I mean, right now his attributes are not where I want to be, but he'll get more seasoning in Double A right now, and we'll see how that goes. And then the two big names. I'll start with James Wood, who had a fantastic spring training in real life in 2024. Now, can he transfer that over virtually in this Washington Nationals franchise series? That's another name that I'm going to be looking out for. And of course, the prize pick 'em all, Dylan Cruz in center field. Once again, another A potential prospect on the top 100 prospect that we have to look over for. So we have a core to build from with CJ Abrams, Joshua Gray, and Mackenzie Gore. And then we have some position players that we're looking out for besides Abrams with James Wood, Dylan Cruz, and Brady House. But for now, this is the starting roster. The starting roster for your Washington Nationals. I'm ready to get going. If we look from the calendar, we start in March. We have the Cincy Reds to start out, and then we go to Pittsburgh, and then we have our first in division is going to be the Philadelphia Phillies. And then what we're going to be doing, we are going to be playing, each episode is going to be 1 month. So our next episode is going to be full April. After that, May, June, July, so on. And then once we get to the playoffs, I don't know what we're going to do with the playoffs yet. If you guys would rather me play the full games in the playoffs, or would you rather keep it the same theme that we're going with the critical situations that we're doing from the 6th inning on, you guys let me know in the comments below how you guys want me to do with the playoffs. But let's just not worry about that yet, because I don't even know if we're going to make playoffs first in year one. Well, let's face it, we're probably not. This is definitely a multiple year rebuild that we're going to have to do, but there is some promising and storylines that I'm excited to go over with the Washington Nationals. So I know this was a rather quick first episode here, but this is just the foundation of what we're going to do going forward here. So much appreciate you guys listening or watching and getting to this point. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to hit thumbs up to today's video. Be sure to sub to this channel if you want to see more of this franchise series video. And we'll have a lot more coming to this channel. I much appreciate you guys listening once again. You guys have a great day. Next episode, we'll get that first month of the 2024 season underway. And we'll see how these Washington Nationals do in the 2024 season. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.